AlGO Nuts is Friday night and a little bit unusual. I usually do my live streams on Saturday, but today, because I've got so much going on this weekend again, I'm doing it on Friday. So we'll see if I get anybody watching. I know everyone's used to it being on Saturday instead of Friday, but we're going to give it a shot. Got some really interesting stuff today. Some big news regarding Decipher, the Algorand conference, which is in Dubai. Which will be kind of more inside baseball because it's actually has to do with our channel. So we'll talk about that. I got a number of interesting projects that are coming out. We're probably going to do videos on next week. We're going to talk about Algorand governance, the period ending, and we're going to talk about how many people are involved in it. So we're going to look at that. Lots of stuff. So sorry guys that I couldn't do it on Saturday. I'm doing it on Friday instead. At least this time I had a heads up. Sometimes the things come up at the last minute and then I just have to cancel. So I'd always rather do it on a different day than not at all. So let's see. So if you're watching this on replay, you can I got links down below that can give you some deals on different cryptocurrency things. My favorite is Lofty. I'm a big fan of Lofty. And I'm also a big fan of NifGen, which is a brand new platform. It's an NFT platform, but it's also going to be like essentially going to have the Patreon version of the blockchain version of Patreon. And pretty much every Algorand creator that you know is going to be on this. So make sure to check that out. Nifgen.com, if I got that right. In fact, let me just double check that really quick. And anyway, I hope you guys are all doing, nifgen.com. That's NIFTGEN.com. They're trying to grow the users right now. The way this is going to work is basically it's going to be like a Patreon system. Like I said, all your favorite Algorand creators are going to be on it. We've all kind of committed to being early adopters. And the one difference from Patreon that I really like is that it has. So for $4.99, you'll be able to sign up with one creator, but for $8.99, you'll be able to see all the creators' content. So I think that's pretty cool. Like I said, you'll be able to see everyone's content for that one price. So all your Algorand creators, all the extra stuff that we do on the platform, you'll be able to see it for one price. And then what that'll do is some of the money will go into a creator pool that goes to all of us. You know, if you sign up through my link, I'll get a portion of that. But also, like, I'll get a cut of the creator pool, and everyone else will too, which I think is kind of cool. People can sign up right on the stream too, which is pretty neat. So I just want to bring that out there. By the way, if you want to join the channel for extra content, you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button, and you can get. I kind of do my weekly portfolio review where I kind of talk about my moves, what moves I'm making at that time, and how my various crypto investments are doing, and I share that. I only share that with subscribers to the channel. So, and I by subscribers I mean channel members. What I'll probably be doing on NifGen is doing a video review. So, so that's the housekeeping, and maybe we should just get right into it. So where should we start? Let's look at the charts. Let's look at coin market cap. Interesting. I've been doing a little Bitcoin trading this week, and well, it's not going great because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just playing around with it a little bit. I bought in around 19.4, thinking I had hit a dip, and I did not. It's actually gone down. So we'll just wait till it goes back up again and then take some profit. Just still learning a little bit about that. Ethereum. Now, Ethereum would have been a good buy because now it's at 1,300, so that's interesting. Up a little bit. Everything's just kind of mostly leveling off. Not a real big mover. You know, Cardano's up a little bit. It's funny that Cardano price is pretty close to Algorand right now. So with Algorand, you can actually do more stuff, and people are doing more stuff, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. Got some very interesting things come up. Yeah, nothing really groundbreaking. That Unised Leo that was pumping before is down now. It seems to have a little more volatility than everything else. The main thing we want to get to is Algorand. It is sitting at 31 cents. And number 30 by market cap. Volume has gone up by 6%. That's kind of hinting at what we're going to talk about a little bit later. Sort of. We're going to talk more about TVL, but yeah, 31 cents. That's pretty good. And you can see we had a little bit of a pump today. So it's good to see. We actually had as low as 29. So some of you might have been able to buy that dip down in the 29 cents range. I think I bought some of that. When did I buy it? That yesterday? Yeah, I probably bought around the 30 cents range based on what I'm seeing here. So not bad. I'm okay with that. And then let me go to, let's check out the coins and tiny chart. These are the ASAs. I'm going to show you one more thing that I think is kind of cool. I have been using DAP Radar, but I'm going to show you something else. Okay. Top of the TVL. So people are really going nuts with DeFi. Very interesting to see. It is up on the week and the day and the hour. Very cool. Cosmic Gold kind of leveling off, staying about 7 cents. A little up on the week, so that's cool. Good to see. Goment is down. Chips down. Algo Gems down. A lot of down stuff. Prestige, Yieldy. Looking good on the week. I wish they showed that weekly percentage. I know I say this every time, but it just kind of drives me nuts. Also, don't like the name change. I said that a million times. I like Tiny Chart, just sounded cooler. I don't like Vestige. Oh, pardon me while I drink here. Yeah, Bank Token. I did a video on Bank Token. It is up a little bit, and they got a little icon for it now. They didn't have that before, so I'm glad to see that. Kita having a little bit pumped too, and Trust is way up. Very popular. Also a big gainer this week. Yeah, let's look at the Bank Token now. The Bank Token, if you did anything on AlgoFi whatsoever at any point, you got at least a little bit of Bank Token. And I got a few of these. I did a video a long time ago. I just wasn't really impressed with what they were doing. I get their importance. It just doesn't have much utility to me. This thing had pumped all the way up to about 0.09 AlGO. I don't know what that is in dollars. Currently about 2 cents. So it's actually a little lower when I did my video, so that's nice to see. Currently 0.06 AlGO. I'm not sure what that makes it. Well, it does make it. It makes it 0.02. But what this allows you to do is to vote on AlgoFi. So that's pretty interesting. If you want to have say on how the AlgoFi project progresses, the various things. I actually voted on something. They had a proposal to add Lofty tokens, and I don't know, it wasn't doing well. That was one of the things that these companies have been doing, like Algorand Foundation does this on their votes, and now AlgoFi does too, is they show you the vote before it's done, and I don't think that's a good idea. I think you should not show people a vote because you want a genuine opinion, not people going with the crowd, which that's the reason why they don't show it to you in polls, because they want your genuine opinion, not just going along with the majority. So all right, let's see, we got anybody in the house? Oh, I forgot to look at the chat. We got some chats. Bill Young says, can't wait for use case and adoption. Well, I think Lofty is a use case. It allows me to invest in real estate without having to buy actual real estate and deal with all that mess. And, not dealing with the REITs where it's more of an index fund. So I think there are some use case, but yeah, more broader. And then the FIFA NFTs are a great use case too. People are collecting those. I'd be curious how many people, it'd be interesting to learn how many people are just fans of FIFA versus actual Algorand fans. I think that'd be a really interesting thing to do. Yeah, while we're on the topic, guys, while you're watching, you can always leave questions in the chat, and I do my best to answer them either throughout the broadcast or at the end. I usually go through the stuff I've gotten on. Oh, Algo Rails. Oh, okay, sure. Sorry about that. Yeah, right on, Bill. But yeah, just leave your questions in the chat. I will answer them, and I will answer them at the end too if I don't get to them during the live stream. But I usually kind of just take breaks to do that. Speaking of Algorand Foundation and governance, this is in, and let's take a look here. I didn't share my screen last time, did I? Jeez. Oh, I'm batting 1,000 here today. Yeah. The problem is they don't come up in the order. Here we go. Algorand stats. Sorry for not sharing the screen. Geez Louise. Okay. Well, we've got four. Let me make sure that is refreshed and accurate. I think it automatically refreshes, but in case it doesn't, 4.2 algos have been committed. 4.2 billion algos have been committed to governance this period. That is the most of any other period. I think last month was the most before that at 3.6 and 3.5, and they kind of go down from there. 2.8. The first one was like one something, right? Yeah. It's a big deal. That is a total of 37,448 governors, which, as you know, is about half of what we had the first period. But that's because a lot of these companies like Folks Finance and AlgoFi have gotten into the governance business. So they have a whole bunch of people who are going through that one channel. And that's why when you go down here a little bit further, the groups per stake or governors per stake, especially groups per stake, you can see that most of it is coming from people with 10 to 50 million algo or even 50 or more. I guarantee you most, if not all of that is the various protocols that are allowing for governance. Of course, the main difference with this period of governance too is that they allow you to do LPs, and that's exclusively what I'm doing. I am staking Cosmic Gold and Algorand pool LP pools. And what's cool is that the Tiny Man farms they've extended that through the entire period. And I think that was so smart. I was saying, why aren't more companies doing this? Because it's you're not going to want to hold on to those LPs through governance, but you can only use them for like maybe 1 month of the period. It makes sense to extend it through the whole period, and that's what they're doing. So that's cool. Let's see. So that's governance. I think it's very positive. This has got me excited about governance again. The fact that they allowed these LP pools, it just makes more sense. These LP tokens. Governance makes a lot more sense for me than it did. It just felt like it wasn't really paying off. As I've said, if you are very risk averse, Algorand governance is one of the easiest ways and probably the safest ways to grow your coinage, to grow your stash, but definitely not the best or optimal. So if you have a little bit higher risk tolerance, there's plenty of other ways to gain more, but this one kind of allows you to do both. So that's what I like about it. Let's see. So I want to talk about some channel news before I go on to the rest of the news. It turns out I will be going to Decipher in Dubai this year. So I did not think I was going to be going. That is a big trip and potentially a very expensive trip, but I have a sponsor, and the sponsor is NifGen. They're sponsoring a lot of us algo video creators to go to Dubai, and I just found out this week that they're going to sponsor me as well. So they're not paying the entire bill, but pretty close to it, at least pretty close to the travel expenses. So that's very helpful. That'll be very good for me, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to going. I'll try to get an interview with the Mooch. That's one of my main goals, and see who else I can get an interview with. It'd be cool to interview Stacey Warden too, but we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot a lot of logistics I got to figure out there, but I'm very excited. Thanks to NifGen. I think this is going to be a great company. If you missed it earlier, I was saying that they're basically going to be like the Patreon on the blockchain. And what they're doing is they're supporting all the Algorand creators. And for one fee, you'll be able to see all our extra content. So I think that I'm really excited about that. If you guys want to sign up with nifgen.com right now, you can do so for free. Just it's also an NFT platform that you can use now, I believe, but the Patreon element will be that will be going live December 1st. So we're really excited about it. I think it's a good partnership, and hey, anything that supports the Algorand creators and Algorand community is a friend of mine. So traveling around says, have a good trip. Yeah, thanks. I'm actually a little nervous about going all the way to Dubai. I've gone to Japan and Thailand before, and those are very long flights, and this will be a very long flight too. And It's a country. It's a very strict country, as I understand. So I have to really study up and make sure I'm not making any mistakes there. That could be dangerous. Anyway, enough about me. Let us. I'm going to show you something else because this is kind of related to the charts. So I started showing you guys on these live streams the DAP radar, but this is cooler, and for whatever reason, I can't seem to find it now. I can see it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. In fact, I'm going to start getting rid of some of these just to make it easier. Okay, so this is Algorand's. This is their total, the total TVL. So that's total locked value. That means total value that is locked in some sort of smart contract. And this is like the beginning of 2022. As you can see, there's barely anything. And then look how that progresses. Look at where it's at now. This is at all-time highs. This is during a bear market, mind you. This is when crypto sentiment is at its worst. This is when people are the least interested in crypto. And this is what it looks like. I think that is really cool. I'm very excited about that. If we go, let's see, is this TVL rankings? So this is interesting too. Of all the platforms on there, AlGo is at the very top. I think the fact that they have the bank token makes a big difference. I think that's a big reason why they're where they are. You can see the 7-day change is 4%, 1 day is 2%, and 1 minute change they've done up 18.56% in 1 minute. That's crazy. Followed by Folks Finance. So the two ones that are doing governance are some of the highest, followed by Lofty, as you know, one of my favorite ones. If you're watching this on replay, or you can check any of my other videos, I got a link to get you some free Lofty tokens if you sign up through my link. And I'll get a little bit too. So if you want to do that, or just go sign up directly, whatever your preference. I'd personally take the extra $25, but that's just me. And then Tiny Man. I would have thought Tiny Man would have been 1 or 2, to be honest, because it just seems like the nexus of like everything else you're going to do. But Impact Finance, Humble down there. I've talked about Humble before and how I just can't. It doesn't recognize any of the coins in my wallet. So when I go to do a stake, it just says 0, even though I know there's not 0 in there. Very interesting. Commented down there in 10th, then Yieldy. So Yieldy is pretty far down. And, I did a video on kind of what went wrong with Yieldy, where they're at. Opulus at the very bottom. I don't think they quite have it. Clearly, it's not 0. I'm sure that's wrong. So I'll go next. But yeah, we talked about what went wrong with Yieldy, and kind of did a deep dive on that. So you watch that on my channel if you want. I've been big on Kamina. I like the way that it's set up. I think of all the places you can stake, Kamina has probably functionally the best one. I just like the pools on Tiny Farms. They've been my favorite. So I've been using Tiny Man and Kamina and Lofty the most, I would say. But this is a big deal about the TVL. Not everyone can say that they've had just this tremendous growth in TVL during the bear market. So that's a very big deal. All right, glad we got some people watching. Let's go to. So here's something I want to talk about. I came across this today, actually. So a little less of news and more of just kind of like a very interesting thing. Let's just go through this. So this is Justin Bonds, and he says, I don't know if we're going to go through all of these, but let's go through the first ones. Algorand's technology is cutting edge, highly scalable without sharding or L2s, boasting a TPS of up to 6,000 with 4-second finalization times and on-chain governance. And by the way, you guys know that. I mean, if you guys use Algorand, you know how fast it goes. It really is like 4 seconds. I've done stuff on ETH, and it's like, do the thing and then go walk away and do something else for a while. Go eat supper or whatever, go for a walk. You definitely, you're not going to sit there and watch it, or you'll be really bored. So, but you don't get that with Algorand. Now, he goes on to say, unfortunately, AlGO is also centralized and permission gatekeepers can censor any transaction on a whim. He's going to expound on this, and we'll see what he says. Okay, even though consensus is run through participation nodes, which are permissionless, the relay nodes are handpicked by the foundation, making them permissioned. The relay nodes do not directly participate in consensus, but can act as gatekeepers to the entire system. Yeah, and we're going to related to that. In fact, I'm going to show that right now. Cody.algo asked, should nodes be compensated for their contribution to the network? Curious on what the general consensus of the algo fam is, and they say yes, 73% to 26.7. I believe that is auto refreshed, but let me just double check it. Yeah, it was auto refreshing. Good. And look, and Adam Bergman responded to it. Adam Bergman's going to be there in Dubai. We're going to talk. We're definitely going to hang out and collaborate a little, probably. But yeah, so people clearly want these nodes to be compensated, and that's probably why there aren't more nodes. I've thought about it. I'm not sure how much computing power it takes, though. Probably not as much as like Ethereum or something, but it still might be a lot. Anyway, moving on, he says, as the relay nodes are solely responsible for block propagation and relaying transactions across the network, therefore a majority of relay nodes can censor any transaction, which makes algos just highly centralized. Let's see. And kind of just expounds on that for a while. He just says, yeah, it wouldn't be an issue if the relay nodes were permissionless and properly incentivized. But being a permission committee but giving a permission committee the power to censor any transactions takes us too far. So this is the main criticism of Algorand, and I don't think he's wrong necessarily. It's not the most important thing to me. Decentralization it's important, but I don't think we're at the stage where we can have that yet, because I think so much of the stuff still needs to be figured out. I think he's right, ultimately about this, but I don't see the foundation really censoring a lot of stuff either. Yes, it just kind of goes on and on about this, but there's something that I'd be amiss not to discuss Algo's on-chain governance, which is excellent, allows stakeholders to vote on any changes to the protocol. There are no lock-ins for staking, but they are for governance, requiring participants to lock their tokens for 3 months. Yes, correct. This is critical to ensuring good decision-making and governance, as it reinforces long-term decision-making, which I covered extensively in my 3-stage theory on Bitcoin governance. I would prefer to see votes weighted according to time locked over longer periods. Yeah, it's interesting. Overall, AlGO has successfully implemented a solid on-chain governance model. This might also provide a solution to the current relay node problem, as its governance mechanism could be used to vote for relay nodes instead of permission approach it takes now. So, yeah, maybe that's something we need to see going forward. Maybe that'll come up this time. I don't know. It could be interesting, right? But yeah, I think be curious what you guys think about that. Do you think relay nodes should be incentivized? And do you think that's something we should vote on soon? Let me know in the chat. One other thing I want to get to. And there was a long Twitter Spaces about this. I didn't have time to listen to it today. Excuse me. I want to talk about Milko Media, and I'm probably gonna Milkomida. I realized I probably should listen a little bit of the space just to get the pronunciation, because I think I've been pronouncing it wrong. But this Milkomida is A1. It allows for layer 2 rollups on Algorand. Okay, so what is that EVM compatible layer 2 rollups in? And what does that mean? It's funny that it takes a Reddit writer to actually make it understandable, because like these guys talk about it. I saw their ad about it, and it was so obtuse. I'm like, just say what it does, guys. Come on. I'll probably do a thing. I'll probably do something on this next week, because I think this is really cool. So what this does, it allows basically developers to take their apps from the Ethereum network and run it on Algorand. Now, what else does that allow them to do? Not just run it on Algorand, but run it a lot faster. So according to this, 10 times faster, because he says around 200 to 400 TPS versus Ethereum around 30 TPS. I actually think that's generous. I've seen Ethereum TPS usually clocks more like 12, 14, but that's just me. And it's even faster than Polygon, yeah. That's all. You can check out the space. If you punch in Milko Media into Twitter Spaces, I'm sure it will come up. You can listen to it. I'm probably going to listen to it at some point. I think this is going to be this could be a really big deal. And the reason it could be a big deal is because a lot of Ethereum stuff could end up being on, you can be able to use it on Algorand without having to pay like crazy gas fees. And so I think that's a great thing. I think that's a really big deal for the ecosystem, going to be very useful. So that is that. And with that, I am just about out of stuff. If you guys have questions, remember, leave it in the chat. I will answer it on the channel. Meanwhile, I'm going to go through some questions I got on YouTube this week. E4 asked, which site do you use to track price action on bank? And I've said that was Vestige, which used to be TinyChart. I liked TinyChart, the name, better, but it's still a great platform and very useful. Oh yes, and I got lots of lots of spam comments. I keep getting that. I love the grounded reality of this channel. All my spam comments start with that. They probably all say the same thing. Or I get the one that's, I'm new to trading. How can I make more profitable investment? I don't know. If you're getting spam, like, at least you're like relevant, right? Liquidity, sound stake. The funny thing is, someone asked me to do a video on the bank airdrop, and I was like, I don't know. I don't really use AlgoFi. And then I went and I'm like, well, I guess they gave me some bank. Maybe I'll look into this because everybody was talking about it. Oh, so I did my deep dive on Yieldly, and someone asked if I was still using Yieldly at all, and the answer is right now I'm not at all. If I were going to use it, I might use the distribution pools, but the main reason for not using it is the Yieldly token has performed really poorly, and then you're going to pair that with like another ASA that's probably really volatile. That's just not a good situation. If I'm going to use an ASA for staking, I at least want Algorand to be the other one, or a US dollar coin, the Algorand version. Just trying to see if there's much else in here, and there really isn't. Got a lot of comments on the Yieldly video, but not a lot of questions. Or, people just saying, hey, cool stuff. Well, someone had asked for like a specific walkthrough of the Cosmic Algo on Tiny Farm. I do have a video on that if you guys are wondering how to stake on the Tiny Man farm, so be sure to check that out. I'm just trying to go back and through and see. Oh yeah, someone had thought they had missed the Algorand governance window, but they actually haven't. So they would now because it's closed. But a week ago when they asked, they actually didn't know that it was extended. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. You guys got any questions, comments, concerns? Yeah, I know we're a little low on viewership today, just because I know it's not my usual day to do it, but I figure it's better to do it on a different day than just not do it at all. I will be gone the rest of the weekend, won't be able to live stream. So I do appreciate everyone that watched today. Thanks for coming and checking it out with me. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Yeah, we're doing good. So thanks, guys. Stay safe out there. And as always, I'm Frugal BC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the future.